Hello, my name's Zoe and I'm an artist here on YouTube. So welcome to the video, and if you've watched my videos before, welcome back. So this is a new sketchbook. It is a Strathmore. I can't see it on the screen now, so I can't remember which one it is. It's a Strathmore sketchbook and I've had it for well over a year now. Just waiting to start. The reason why I've had it so long is because I thought I would have finished my last sketchbook a really long time ago actually, but I didn't like it and then it started falling apart and I kind of gave up on it. It's got about 20 pages left and it's out of about 100, and I gave up on it because it was falling apart and I thought if I carry on using it it's just completely going to go, like the spine was broken, it was ripping. So I finally now got around to starting this sketchbook, and we've gone all past the stickers without me talking about any of them. So they were by Casey Golden, there we go, Cat Volk, and the top one, the cat one, is Idjits. So yeah, the Casey Golden ones were the first two, Cat Volks were the second two, Idjits is the top, and the one underneath Idjits I have no idea. And then they were just some random NASA stickers on the back, and a Redbubble sticker on the inside. So you used to always get these cool stickers from Redbubble, but now you just get the logo when you order. Anyone that I mention in this video, by the way, either from the stickers or the prompts that I'm using for this, there'll be links below. So doing some art now. So this was from a prompt. I put out a call on social media asking for people to give me ideas to what to start sketchbooking in with. And the first one was by Dark Arts by Racine, and it is your favourite vampire character. Now, I couldn't really think of one, but for some reason, I thought about vampire mushrooms. So I had a bit of a sketch to see what that might look like on my iPad on Procreate. So I decided to go with that because I thought it was a fun idea. Because I haven't done traditional art for a really long time, I kind of got the fear, and I didn't sketch on camera because I was worried about how it would turn out. Yeah, so I could have recorded that. It's a bit silly really, but never mind, because it's not the most complicated drawing in the world. But yeah, it is what it is. So we went straight in for the colouring. But then if I had included the sketch, it would have been an even longer video, and this is 30 minutes. 30 minutes that I've got to try and talk for, and there's 27 minutes of that left to go. So the pencils that I'm using here, you would have seen the tin earlier, is the Harmonious set by Castle Arts. I've never used Castle Art supplies before, so it was a new experience for me. But the selection of the pencils was just amazing. It's amazing, these muted colours in just the right colour palette for me, with your purples, blues and greens. Real good selection for me. The only thing it was really missing was a black. So the black I'm using here is an Arteza one, and it was rubbish and it kept snapping. But I did only intend to outline in the pencil, which didn't go very well, but we'll get to that when I get to the outline. But when I swatched those coloured pencils, the colours were just absolutely amazing, and I couldn't wait to use them for this. I don't feel like this sketchbook it's a bit rough for them, so it made them kind of harder to work with, and they went blunt really quickly, but I definitely still use them in this sketchbook again. I think it's just more me having to get used to like a much rougher textured paper. It's certainly good paper. I just need to get used to it, and I intend to try lots of different supplies in the sketchbook, so to see what it can handle. I really wish that I had put some alcohol marker under these pencils first as a base, but I didn't want to ruin that first page by potentially having bleed through. I think at some point I'm going to have to try alcohol markers in the sketchbook to see if it does bleed through, because they're really, really thick pages, so it might be okay, or it might just bleed through a little bit. So just have to see what I've got to work with. So yeah, just kind of layering the colours here. I used so many different colours on this drawing. Oh, my brain, I just can't think of the words. I'm really sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background as well. It's decided to get 10 times louder. I will see if I can remove that in post-production if it is audible, but if it isn't, apologies. It sounds like it's just stopped now anyway. Oh, I'm rambling on. Well, oh, here we go. Let's change the camera angle. That makes it more interesting. Yeah, so it was, yeah, a bit of a challenge to use the pencils on this paper. I kind of wasn't getting the blending that I wanted to get. I think that is down to user error. I don't know whether user error is the right thing to say on this, but it's just they're new pencils and a new sketchbook, and yeah, it's going to take a bit of getting used to. It does leave a lot of pencil texture, which is fine. I just don't particularly like the amount of white you get through the pencils with the paper, which is definitely why I need to try and put a base on next time I use the pencils in the book and see how that affects the sketchbook. Yeah, I was at this point as well in the drawing, I was getting a little bit concerned about how it looked. It wasn't particularly what I wanted, but I think once I got the top of the mushroom coloured in, it looked a lot better. I just kind of felt that it looked a little bit, I can't think of the words, like just nondescript and a bit boring. But I didn't want to make it too dark. But I think I got a lot of darkness into the top of the mushroom. Oh, and by the way, the drips are inspired by the ink cap mushrooms, because I kind of thought that went with like the vampire theme. So that was fun. Yeah, I just went on Pinterest and looked up gothic mushroom and I got the ink caps come up. So yeah, that's what I went with. So in this pot, going back to these pencils actually, there are, I thought it was 18 purples. I think there's 22 purples in this one tin. So it's a huge array of purple pencils. And there's just a lot of well, it's essentially 3 colours, so you've got a lot of everything in there. I mean, there's some pinky tones, but they're still kind of in the purple like part. So yeah, here we go, layering, just layering. This was the bit I really liked, just putting that blue in. That's a really dark blue, I can't remember what it's called, probably the darkest colour in the box. I could have used that to outline. Took quite a long time to get this colour as dark as I wanted, even though it's the darkest in the book. The box. Yeah. Took a lot of work. I think we're going to skip through in a minute. So I'm just doing lots of little circles there. I feel like I should talk a little bit less. That's why I kind of started taking gaps in my speech there, because I... how much longer have I got? I've still got 20 minutes of video to voice over. We don't have to talk the whole time, I hope. So now I've come in with another blue. Also a really nice one. Just adds a little bit more depth and interest to the illustration. Just chucking that in anywhere, really. So I spent most of this drawing worried about how it looked, because I think still at this point I still was thinking, here is me doing a new sketchbook with an absolutely terrible drawing on the first page, and people are never going to want to come back to my channel ever again. But it does get better. Just to look at his teeth, he looks absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I just brush off some pencil, lovely. Well done me. And we've got a little gap, what are we doing? Fiddling with something. Brilliant. Okay, what am I doing here? Forgot to edit this bit out, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, here we go. We're about to start drawing again. Wonderful. There we go. Okay. So I have put this into time lapse because I tried to outline with that absolutely terrible coloured pencil, and it kept snapping, it kept going blunt, and I couldn't get a clear enough line that I wanted. So we'll just whiz through. I mean, it looks okay. It's not awful. I don't hate it, but it wasn't. Oh look, we jumped past loads there. Wasn't having any of that. It just wasn't the outline I wanted. So we're gonna fix that in a bit. But we're just gonna colour this gravestone in now. Originally, I was just going to do the character, and then when I sketched it out on my iPad, I thought that looks a little bit sad. So we went with this scene. I'm watching this and I'm thinking, all I can think about is how I wish I'd put alcohol marker under it. But never mind, I am not the biggest fan of when coloured pencils do this. And I feel like this paper is way too textured to fix that with the pencils alone. I mean, I could go and get like burnishing pencils onto that, or you know, you can use a colourless alcohol marker to get rid of that, but it wasn't. I wanted some texture, just not quite that much. So yeah, next time I get them out, I'm definitely going to use alcohol markers underneath, and then I'll just have to maybe paint on the page behind if it goes through. So then yeah, this is me fixing that line work. I'm just using a brush line here. So you can say I'm much happier with how it looks with that. It's just much more defined. Here we go, let's do those ridiculous teeth again. Bit of detail. Belly button, yep, because it has to have a belly button. If it's got a face, it's got to have a belly button. Good work. And then I thought, well, that still looks a bit poor, so let's put a background in. Go, just do some little scribbles. Little scribbles here and there. Bob Ross would be proud. Look at that. Some happy scribbles. I really got to get better at this voiceover stuff, because maybe I should think about topics to talk to you about. Oh look, background's in. Here we go. And what is a vampire if it doesn't have blood? Is it really a vampire? What I'm using here is a red metallic Uniball Signo gel pen. So I've been using the white ones for years and then discovered you could get metallic ones, so that's what that is. So I love it of that fang, beautiful. Oh, he's got some blood on his hand. There we go. Very nice. Of course, the obligatory white highlights in the eyes. And we're probably going to shove some stars on now. I don't know what I'm doing there. There we go, stars. I was surprised actually how well the gel pen took to colour pencils, because sometimes it can just come off straight away, but it seemed okay with these ones. Now whether that's down to the pencil or the texture of the paper, I don't know at this point. And there it is. Okay, so the next prompt was by Stevie Tinker on Instagram. This was Lucky Cat, which you have probably already guessed. I was not going to mess around with that pencil for oh my goodness, for an outline. So my line work is straight in with the brush pen. It's easier as well with the brush pens, get varying line weights. But yeah, I just went straight in with it. I do like how a coloured pencil looks, but I think I need, and yeah, it's less harsh, but I think I need to find a better black pencil to do that with, so I'm going to have to do a bit of research online and see what would be a good one to do lines with. But I mean, it's much quicker for me. I'm used to using like liners, so it's much quicker to do it this way, but it's not necessarily like the effect I was going for. So I started with my dark shade this time, and that again is that dark blue that I used before. I'm going to use that for patches on the cat in a minute as well. Just tickling his little chin there with that pencil. There we go, so putting patches in. So I just started off kind of like going over it lightly, and then I will darken that up in a second. Oh, and the camera, I remember actually when I was recording this, the camera kept slipping, which was very annoying. So there might be some strange angles at a couple of points, but I think I managed to edit most of that out. Just adding some random spots everywhere else now. Oh, you can see by this point I got lazy and gave up doing like a lighter layer first. Standard. My washing machine is so loud. Did not think about that before I started recording, but there you go. So I decided to go with mainly like a purple and blue cat. I do start to add some green later on, just to his head, or her head. I don't want to assume gender there. Their head. I think it. Yeah. I think it looks cute. Not the kind of thing I would normally draw, so a little bit challenging. So I was just thinking about my plans for this sketchbook in the future, is to do a lot of like double page spreads, hopefully. I'm not sure entirely what I want to draw yet, but I don't need to have a plan. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a sketchbook, and you can do whatever you want in a sketchbook. So I might do some like bigger pieces where I take up a whole page, but then do like pages like this, but on the double spread, so you know it takes over both. And I would like to try some more gouache, so I would expect to be putting a bit of gouache in this sketchbook. I think it can take it. I think that this sketchbook is going to be able to take not too much wet media, but I think it's going to be okay with something like gouache, definitely. Maybe a little bit of watercolour, not too much. So we'll see about that. And I'm pretty sure it takes alcohol marker. It is just how much of it bleeds through, which could be an issue. But if I plan things well, I could potentially do alcohol marker on one side and then gouache on the other, even if I had to gesso the back of the page, which kind of defeats the object because of the paper. You're then changing the surface of the paper. But is a way around it, and I do have gesso that I have never opened. So there's that can be done. I would maybe like to do some portraits in there. Maybe some animals. Because I've started drawing animals recently, and I haven't really ever been one to draw animals. I've been doing... can't talk. I've been doing them digitally. But it would be nice to try and do some traditional animals as well. They're just going round and round with that green. That's a nice green though. Oh, there's that second blue that I used on the mushroom again. Here we go. I think it looks really nice when you use it over the top of the other one. It gives like a new depth to the other blue. Really complements it. So I will probably be using them together quite a lot. Just deepening some shadows with it. But going back to what I'm going to draw in this sketchbook, I am open to suggestions, so feel free to make some in the comments. Yeah, because I'm not the best person for ideas. I kind of just draw. I don't know, like I did a load of fan art recently for in the light of the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. That was obviously because I'd seen Deadpool Wolverine. And I've been doing a lot of those draw this in your style challenges, because I'm just not great with ideas, and I do have some of those prompt books, but I forget I've got them, and also I kind of feel like I should be doing those in those books anyway, and some of the prompts are a bit odd. Now, going back to this drawing, I made a very strange colour choice for that bell. I'm not sure if I regret it, but you will see soon what I did. I think I do have... I don't know. I think I did the collar first. Now the collar colour is not from this box. I wanted something a bit brighter. It's a polychromo, Faber-Castell polychromo. Just because I wanted something that would show up a lot more, because this pencil set is a harmonious set, so nothing really stands out over the top of anything else. They all kind of just go together, which is beautiful. But there was nothing then in that set to be a standout from anything else. So I'm probably no, I'm going in for that colour pencil there. I thought I edited half of these gaps out. I do apologise. I'm certainly not going back to edit it again. So I've done voiceover, and I can't do another voiceover. I've still got 5 minutes to go, and I'm struggling. But yes, enough learnt from this video that next time I'm going to have a list of topics to go off of that I can talk to you about, so I'm not just aimlessly rambling. Because I was like, yeah, sure, I can talk about this sketchbook and those pencils for half an hour. No, I can't, because I haven't used them enough. And that was silly. Very, very, very silly. There we go, here's that choice on the bell. A bright orange jelly roll. Luckily for you, doesn't look as bright on camera. It's fluorescent in real life. I mean, it's quite bright there, but it's fluorescent. Not really sure why I thought that was a good option. There we go. And I'll be honest, it's because I couldn't be bothered to find a yellow. I do not know where my other coloured pencils are, so that is what I used, because I didn't want to stop recording. That's it, you fanning around with that a little bit more maybe, yeah, because that's going to look better, isn't it? There we go. Let's get that lucky sign done. So these are the more pink tones that are in there, but they've still got a bit of a purple hue to them. And I'm being lazy here. I don't want to do all in one layer, so I'm pressing hard. I do, yeah, going back to what I was just saying, I do feel like this video has been quite a learning curve for me on how bad I am at doing voiceovers. And while I don't want to go back to using it, because when I first started my channel, I used to use scripts for voiceovers. I used to do quite a lot shorter ones, and but I really do sound like I'm reading, whereas here I sound like I'm aimlessly rambling, because I am. But for future videos, I will write a list of things to talk about, because yeah, there's a lot of what shall I talk about now, which is probably not great viewing, but you know, live and learn. This is taking me a really long time to colour this in. Oh, I've actually managed to nearly get to the end now. We're on 29 of 31 minutes, I believe. There we go. Some random scribbly, I think they're bushes. I'm not entirely sure. You can really see while doing this actually how rough that paper is, like the texture you're getting. So I definitely need to be putting a background on that before I start. An underpainting, if you will, but with alcohol markers. I really like the effect this green, I think this is called apple green, or is it seafoam? It might be seafoam actually, and it just gives this like, I don't know how, like, minty, tealy effect over the top. Like, those two greens mixed together was just a really nice colour. I'm really going for it there. I've not even done that. I mean, I may have even sped that up slightly. There we go. And I'm looking at this now thinking, that's rubbish. Oh no, look, I put some purple on it. And also, I forgot to start recording when I was writing that. Now, don't judge my my lettering. I am very bad at it. I do think I deserve praise, though, for getting the sketchbook number right. Because on my last, if you saw my sketchbook video, from my last sketchbook, when I wrote on the cover, which I've not done with this one yet, but when I wrote on, there you go, number 4, well done me. I wrote sketchbook 2 and it was sketchbook 3. I'll just rub that out. Don't include the end of the last drawing, but yeah, we'll include the rubbing out. Well done. Excellent, excellent job. Yeah, anyway, that is me, me rambling on and on and on. Yeah, so there's the this is the finished. I've had to put this in afterwards. This is the finished page, and I hope you like it, and I apologise for the rubbish voiceover. I'm going to improve that for next time, but I just want to say thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed having you here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.